Hello everyone, in this series of videos, we're going to build the backend to a React Frontend using the Django REST Framework. We will learn how to create an authentication system using the JSON Web Tokens, database management, which will include setting up a Postgres database, and how to properly manage our API endpoints. You'll find this video useful if you are trying to get into backend development, if you would like to improve your Django skills, or just looking to learn something new and exciting. So this is the front end of our application. It's a React Frontend. As you can see, it's running from my local development server. I also have a JSON server which holds the data at the moment, which is temporary. Eventually we'll move it to our Postgres database. But in this tutorial, we're going to focus on the backend part of the development. We're not going to focus on the React. So as you can see, users can search for players by their names. So let's say Zach. If you click on the player name, it's going to take you to the player's details. Users will also be able to log in, or if they don't have an account, they'll be able to register for an account. The current data is stored in a JSON file, which I'll provide to you. So as you can see, we have the profile data, which includes the name, age, jersey number, place of birth, etc. We also have the citizenship flag, other positions, agency info, current season stats, and so much more. I'll provide this data to you, but it won't be the full data. I'm going to provide the data of 152 players. If you want the full data, which includes about 166,000 players, there'll be a link in the description. So for this series, I'll be using an Ubuntu WSL, which is just a Linux kernel hosted in Windows. So I'm going to bring it up. The first thing you need to do is to create a directory. So I'm going to create a directory called Django backend. Then you can seed into Django backend. These commands will be similar for Windows or Mac. Then for integrated projects, I always recommend using a virtual environment. And you can create a virtual environment using the commands Python 3 VNV. That should create our virtual environment. This command should be the same for Windows and Mac. You can then activate the virtual environment using VNV bin activate. For Windows, this will be source VNV scripts activate. So once our virtual environment is activated, we can proceed to install our dependencies. We're going to need Django, the Django REST Framework, and we're also going to need IPython. So we have Django installed and we have the Django REST Framework installed. We can proceed by creating our Django project. So Django admin start project. I'm going to call mine backend. Remember to pass the period at the end. So you can see it has created our Django project where we have our backend, we have the manage.py, and we have the virtual environment there. So I'm going to open this in Visual Studio Code so that we can inspect it further. So Django automatically created this default project where we have our settings. This settings file will hold all our configurations for our Django project. We also have our urls.py file, which is responsible for handling our URL patterns. We also have our manage.py file. This is responsible for running custom Django commands. So unlike simple frameworks such as Flask, Django comes with a default website that you can view and inspect. And to access this website, we just need to run our server. And to do that, we'll be using our manage.py file. So Python manage.py run server. The manage.py file is just a utility file that you can use to run these commands. So as you can see, starting development server at localhost at port 8000. We can navigate to that site, and yeah, there we have it. I'm going to stop the development server for now. You'll get this error about the unapplied migrations, which we're going to look at it in the next video. In the next video, we're going to learn how to create a simple Django application that will handle various functionalities such as routes, models, and our database settings. See you in the next one.